Hello once again, everybody. Welcome to my music channel. I am Todd the Mod. As usual, if you're returning, welcome back. So glad to have you. If you are new, welcome aboard. It's good to have you too. Yeah, I'm shooting this on a very rainy Thursday night here in Arizona. We're getting all the rain from San Diego, so it's kind of like a little bit of home. Not really. Anyway, yeah, actually, I enjoy the rain, and it's really nice to look out the window to see it rain. And we're not getting a lot of rain in Arizona, so we need it, and we're getting it. So there we go. Part two of Guilty Pleasures Week is, or part two of my series, I should say, or episode number 2 of Guilty Pleasures is Among Us. It's a Sunday morning that you're watching this, or Sunday afternoon, or Sunday night, depending on whenever you watch my video. Yeah, I hope you all had a good week. Mine has been productive. Not too bad. Yeah. So, not too shabby. From my last video I did the previous Sunday, I was telling you about that. Been kind of everything's been catching up with me with this recovery from surgery, recovery from my stroke, and it's kind of been getting to me. And still having waves of that, but less and less this week, which has been nice. Started exercising, walking a little bit more, using a handheld like walking pad with my walker, if that makes sense. So taking more steps, trying to build my endurance, and this is starting to feel a lot better now. It's not as painful anymore, but I got a really cool scar, which is what I wanted. Anyway, it still gets a bit uncomfortable. I still have to treat it like I'm wearing a neck brace still, but hopefully on the 25th I have my next follow-up appointment with my surgeon, and hopefully we get a little more aggressive on therapy with it, and I can start being more active, and I can start driving again, which will be nice. Anyway, short update. Don't want to get too much into that. We're going to talk about guilty pleasures. So if you didn't watch last week's video, I started a guilty pleasures series, episode number 1, and that was the Partridge Family. Guilty pleasures of mine. I like the Partridge Family. Yeah, they were fun, weren't they? So now I'm going to do something. Well, I'm not going to do something different. I'm going to do a guilty pleasure, another guilty pleasure of mine, musical group, that is. And first, I'm going to define what a guilty pleasure is. So a guilty pleasure is something you enjoy, even though you might feel embarrassed or judged for it. That is the exact definition here I found on the Googles and the Internets. So, guilty pleasure number two was introduced to this group from my middle daughter. Back when we lived in Colorado, and really the song she played, she only played me one song because I think that was the only hit they had at the time. They're a brand new group at this time, and I forgot what year that was. That was, oh boy, I want to say 2012, but I could be wrong. I'll find out in a minute. And something drew me to the song. I think it's because it was very British, because the guy singing had a very thick British accent. And I was drawn to it. It didn't make me want to go out and listen to their other albums, but I thought, oh, this song's pretty cool. It's got a nice hook to it, pretty catchy. And then my youngest son, got me really into them. And in fact, took him to go see them in concert. What was so cool about that is I took them to see his favorite group at the same place I first saw my first concert, which was the Smiths back in 1986 at a place called the San Diego State Open Air Theater. It's not called that anymore. It's called Cal Coast Amphitheater, I think it is. Cal Coast Federal Credit Union. CCU? I don't know. It's called something else. I've seen, that's where we saw them at, and it was called something different at the time. Saw a lot of concerts there. Saw UB40 there. Saw, oh gosh, a lot of, I can't name them all. I actually saw Weird Al there too. Well, anyway, great concert venue if you're ever in San Diego, see a concert, and it's a great open air theater basically. So saw them there, and got really into their music. Been buying all their albums since their first one, And the reason why this is a guilty pleasure is because someone my age, you would not typically see them at you wouldn't see someone my age at one of their concerts. Usually, it's usually a younger generation, and that would be a group called the 1975. Yes, the 1975. I like them. I think they're really cool. Their music is very catchy. Most of it is. There's some songs I'm not too fond of, but anyway, I mean that could be said by any artist really. But anyway, I mean the 1975 they came out, and I'm gonna find this out now. And this came out in 2014. I was off by 2 years. Oops. So I was introduced to them in 2014. This was their debut album called The 1975. Pretty cool. It's got a nice gatefold of Z Band. Here we go. This is George, Paul, Ringo, and John. No, I'm just joking. Matt Healy, George Daniels, and oh boy, I forgot the other two members. I'm not really a diehard fan. Can you tell? No. I forget things. It's just my old age. Adam Hahn and Ross McDonald. There we go. Ross McDonald on bass, Adam on guitar, Matt Healy on lead vocals and guitar, and George Daniel on drums. Pretty cool debut album. It's got some really, I mean, they're very artistic, a very artistic group. It's got their lyrics on each thing, comes in clear vinyl. The song I was first introduced to them, and if I can play a sample, I will, was a song called Chocolate. And but this whole album is actually, for a debut album, it's really, really good. The City, what a great song. Sex, Settle Down, Robbers, Girls, Menswear. I mean, this album is actually really, really good. If you have not heard of the 1975, look up their first album and look up the song Chocolate or Robbers. Robbers is a good song too. So this is their first one. This is the tour I saw them on, which was their second album, and it's called I Like It When You Sleep, For You Are So Beautiful, Yet So Unaware of It. Nice long title there. Another gatefold, if I could open it here, which has pictures depicting each song on the album, which is kind of cool. A very pinkish theme. In fact, their whole stage was just like that when I saw them in concert. Lyrics on each record, and of course, again, it's on clear vinyl. This one I thought was even a better record than their first one. In fact, it still remains my favorite 1975 album. And songs like oh, here's the thing, they didn't put the track listing on the back, and with my memory, I'm not gonna be able to remember all the songs by my brain here. I'm gonna tell you right now, my favorite songs of this album is called Someone Else. Really, really sad song about a breakup, but yeah, the chord progression and the keyboards and the whole orchestration on it is just beautiful. And if you haven't heard that song, and you want to check out the 1975, that would be the first one I'd say go look up, is Someone Else, and then go look up Chocolate. But anyway, has a lot of good songs off this one too. Loving Someone, The Sound was a big hit for them off of this one. This Must Be My Dream, Paris was a great song. Let's see here, gotta pull out the other album because I can't remember exactly all the songs off of it. She's American, Change of Heart is a wonderful song. Love Me, Ugh. Yeah, If I Believe You, which is a song about basically challenging someone's faith in God. It's actually a really good song. There's some bad tracks off this too. It's not a perfect album. I don't think any of their albums are perfect. You have those groups where their albums are just perfect from start to finish. You're not going to find that in a 1975 album. At least I don't think so. They got some stuff that's just, it's obviously just filler. I mean, there's no lyrics to some of it. Some of it's just like random crap. And maybe the younger generation understands it more than I do. I don't know. But anyway, still my favorite album by them. Now we go to their third album. And this one's called Notes on a Conditional Form. This album sucks. I'm not going to hold back. This was a huge disappointment. Another gatefold. with some credits there. I really suck at holding stuff in front of a camera. This is why I can never be a news anchor. Let's see here. I think I played it once, and I was like, eh. Still on clear vinyl. Apparently, they don't like to differentiate from clear. Yeah, I mean, it's got some highlights. There's a couple good songs off of it. Let's see here. Roadkill, kind of an interesting title, but actually is a kind of a decent song. And The Birthday Party, I'd say, is okay. The rest of it, if you're interested in checking out the 1975, do not start with this album. You will be highly disappointed and probably not like them. All right. So we're not going to say too much about that one. That was their third one. Now, at that point, I was like, okay, maybe I'll just leave this group to the younger generation and just focus on their first two albums, and that's about it. Again, this is guilty pleasures. Someone my age typically doesn't like the 1975. However, I was turned on to their fourth album by my son, and I checked it out. This one's called A Brief Inquiry into Online Relationships. Matt Healy's got very interesting titles for his songs and his albums. Another gatefold, nothing special there. It kind of reminds me of the Partridge Family a little bit. This one came in white vinyl. However, I traded it because my son bought it at the same time, and his was black for some reason. And later on, I would trade him because I gave him, when he first got his turntable, I gave him this really cool Bob Marley Rastafari colored disc. And I wanted it back, so, because he wasn't playing it, and he had my other Bob Marley on black vinyl that was more new, was more of a newer release or reissue, I should say. And so I made him a bargain. I said, I'll give you the white one for the black one if I have the Bob Marley one back, and trade the Bob Marleys. And he went for it and said, yeah, that's fine. So I have the black vinyl. I mean, he's more of a 1975 fan than I am, so I figured, it's only the right thing to do, Dad. All right, so this one, they kind of redeemed themselves. Give Yourself a Try, good album. Two Time is a good song. Love It If We Made It is a good song. Let's see here. It's Not Living If It's Not With You. That one is probably my favorite song off the album. Was a hit for them. It actually has a music video, just like a lot of their hits do. So they redeemed themselves on this album. And yeah, there we go. Then we come to their last album. They put out some EPs and some more singles and live albums and that kind of stuff. I never bothered with that. I don't think they actually released it on live. No, they did. Record Store Day last year, I think they did a live album or something they released. Or maybe it's coming this Record Store Day. I forgot. Anyway, we go on to the last one. Got this for a birthday gift from my son. And that is Being Funny in a Foreign Language. Good album. I'd say this is my second favorite album by them. Again, not to guess what color album it is. Take a wild guess. It's clear, of course. We have the blue label. And then if you flip it over, we have the white label. So yeah, it's white. It means clear, excuse me. And has a lyric sheet inside of it, in case you want to sing along to your favorite 1975 song off this album. Very good album, actually. I was really impressed with this one. Happiness, Looking for Somebody to Love. Oh, Caroline is a wonderful song. I'm in Love with You is a great song. When We Are Together. Human 2. Yeah, actually not a bad album. It's still not perfect. I still think there's some duds on here, but it was good to see them kind of redeem themselves even more putting out this album. So yeah, that's my 1975 collection, my guilty pleasure, number 2. I think now they're taking a break. This group has toured insanely. Like, they're constantly on the road. And I think that's just how the industry is nowadays for artists to make any money. They're certainly not making it off album sales or streaming, so they have to tour. And that's where they get their money from, is from touring and from merch sales pretty much. So, yeah, this band toured constantly. So I think they're actually now taking a break. But it will be interesting to see if they actually release anything in the future and what it's going to sound like after you take a long break. Because a lot of bands, when they take a long break and they come out with an album, it's completely different. And sometimes that's a good thing, which I think involving your sound is always a good thing. But sometimes it's so far out there that it's like, it doesn't work. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. Anyway, My guilty pleasures number 2. What is yours? Do you like the 1975? Do you have a favorite album by them? Favorite song by them? Yeah, let me know your thoughts on your guilty pleasures. Love to hear about it. Love to see it. If you have a video, if you are doing a video, a guilty pleasures video series, or even a guilty pleasures video, drop me a line. Would love to see it. Love watching new channels. I try to watch as much as I possibly can. It's kind of hard with a day job that keeps me very busy, which I love. But yeah, and plus my recovery too. I try to at night try to squeeze in at least 1 or 2 videos that I watch. So always looking for new material to watch as well. Cool. Hey, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And of course, please be my subscriber. Would love to have you aboard. Yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful week. I am going to have finally a new series starting on Wednesday. I promise, because I'm going to shoot it right after this video. I've learned that trying to shoot a video on another day doesn't work for me because I get too busy. So I'm going to do it right after this one. Yeah. So again, thank you for watching. Have yourself a great week. Be good to each other, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.